Am I going bald? Something people have been telling me for a very long time. Matthew, hey Matthew, you're going bald, or he's going bald. You know, as you hear sometimes. And so have a look at the picture. What do you think? Am I going bald? Well, I'm not going bald. People have been telling me that I've been going bald since I was 14 years old. When I was 14, I was crazy into mountain biking, and I had like a zero fear. My perception of risk was, it just didn't exist. I didn't perceive risk, and I was flying down a quarry, crazy path down a steep quarry, and I hit a ramp, and I literally took off. I took off into orbit, and I landed on my head from a very great height. I'm not too sure, like tens of feet, like maybe 30 feet in the air. I landed on my head in the middle of a pile of rocks. My bike landed on top of it. Should have been dead. My head should have split open like a watermelon. But I have a incredibly hard head, as it turned out. But instead, what happened was the whole scalp. I was actually scalped, like an Apache would scalp. I was scalped, and it took the skin off, and it peeled off like that. It just peeled off in a big L shape, like this. It's like I have an L-shaped scar from here all the way down to here, and all the way across to here, where it peeled off like that, where my head caught a rock, and you know. But my skull, it didn't fracture my skull or anything. It just peeled this lump of skin off. You know, it had this flap on top of my head. So anyway, I had a pile of other injuries anyway. I had bruised ribs and chest plates and massive scrapings on my back and whatever else, another scar at the back of my head. And anyway, it was a very hard smash. And so then when I went to the hospital, they shaved part of the top of my head and sewed it back up. Didn't do a very pretty job on it, you know. It was kind of like it wasn't even level. It was like this here. My head went up like I looked like a cone head, you know, from France. For quite a while, my head was like right up like that. But then when it went down, the hair never fully grew back there. It didn't fully grow back after that. And so people were saying to me from 14 years old, well, it looks like you're going bald at the back, you got a bald spot. No. And then when I was 19, 20, I had to take malaria tablets, right? I took malaria tablets when I was in the Caribbean and in Belize, and then whenever I was a year later, I was in Central Africa, and I had to take malaria tablets again. And one of the malaria tablets I was given, it said, everyone else just took them. I read the instructions, I read the side effects, etc. And one of the side effects was could cause blindness. And I was like, okay, well, blindness, malaria, I'll take my chances with malaria, right? So anyway, I got malaria. You know, I got malaria because the strain of malaria there was very, very strong, and the one malaria tablet wasn't enough. You needed this other one to go with it, right? So anyway, so I got malaria, and I ended up being pumped full of a whole big concoction of anti-malaria medication, quinine and whatever else, you know. And so I had a massive amount of these drugs in my body, and another side effect can cause baldness and make your hair go thin. And so my hair went even thinner. On top, when I was young, I had a massive, really thick mop of hair, and my hair went even thinner on top. So in conjunction with that patch from when I was 14 to then the malaria tablets, my hair started to go thinner on top then when I was 19, 20 years old. And then it's really sort of stayed like that. You know, 20 years later, it's still the same. So, am I going bald? No, I'm not going bald. I'm never going to go bald. Never. It is highly unlikely, let's say it's highly unlikely that I'm ever going to go bald. It is actually increasingly likely that even that patch there is going to even start to regrow even more. But that's what it's from. That's why sometimes it seems from a certain angle, at a certain light, when the light is shining on, that it seems like, oh, you've got a bald spot, you're going bald. No, I'm not going bald. Thanks to say, not that there's anything wrong with being bald, but I'm not going bald, and I actually don't look very good when I have my head shaved. If I get it shaved really tight, I look quite scary. I can look like a thug. I have 11 scars on my head, including the big L shape and the one back there from the mountain bike accident. I have 9 other scars on my head from, like I said, I had zero perception of risk when I was younger, and I ended up cracking my head open quite a number of times, and so I've had stitches here and there and everywhere, and you know, so yeah, having a bald head doesn't suit me. It suits some people very well, it doesn't suit me, so I'm keeping my hair. Thank you very much. So there are many ways to regrow hair, and I've shared it before, 5 ways, I think, stop yourself going bald. I think I've done it before, but anyway, I'm going to share some more videos very soon, in the next couple of months, about preventing yourself from going bald, and also how to regrow hair, as well as I'm going to start to do now, to actually start to thicken my hair as I'm embarking on this thing now, which I'll let you know about in some videos very soon, so stay tuned.